All right, the style of this video is going to be me sitting down talking about the KastKing Kestrel. I will be putting a lot of footage of me fishing over that applies to what I'm saying. It's just the way that I can have a very concise package of information for you. So if you are looking at getting this reel, it's going to be a little bit more use of your time versus me making a really long video. I do think that the Kestrel, I will say kind of bottom line up front, it impressed me, especially for that price point. I was like, KastKing, you know, with the BFS reel jumping like above $200. I was a little worried at first, especially because a lot of what they're trying to claim, which the reel overall is very nice. Compared to the Zephyr, I did use the Zephyr. I did not make any videos with it. I plan on doing some, but I just kind of pushing it back, and eventually did not make any videos. But I did like that reel for like $80. It was a good entry-level reel that I think people would outgrow, but it did actually perform very well. As far as casting, I feel it's overbraked, and a lot of that I thought was due to grease being on the spool bearings. I'll put a picture up right here. But then after I cleaned them out, made sure all the grease is out of there. Then I put Hedgehog Alchemy oil in there, which is a very low viscosity oil. It's good for BFS fishing. It still feels, it did make a good difference. I am casting a little bit flatter, but I do feel that the braking profile is a little too strong overall. Maybe it's this particular model, but I do know that some other content creators that I've seen with casting the Kestrel, they're all on very low brake settings. So for me, I would say that as a negative, but on that low brake setting, it is very stress-free, and it's probably the setting I would use the most. Even say if that same braking profile is up to like, you know, 5 or 6, I would like it a little bit lower, just like some flatter casting. But for stream fishing, it is very good overall. The retrieve, I'll talk about that a little bit on the water. I'll put a little clip here of me talking about it. All right, and the retrieve of the Kestrel, it's really nice. I would put it right up there with, you know, a lot of your mid to like low end, high level, like Dio and Shimano reels. I mean, I don't think there's any real pronounced geary feeling at all. It feels smooth. That handle play, like for like the anti-reverse, is instant. When you move that handle back, it's instant, no matter where you put it. I mean, retrieve isn't something I put super high on a BFS reel. I mean, is it important not to be just, you know, really geary? Sure. But for it to be super, super smooth, I'm not overly concerned with that, especially because this is aluminum gears. Feels really, really nice. And the drag, I didn't get any, you know, huge fish to, you know, really work the drag out. I'll do that more in my bass fishing video I'll do. But I mean, the drag out at every setting that I've tried it on, the clicker is very nice. I think the clicker is better than Shimano's clicker. Like just the sound and how smooth that is. Like that drag is still, I mean, I can keep tightening that thing up and it's still smooth. I mean, it's not translating to fishing right now, but that does feel, it doesn't feel extra jerky or anything like that, which I will be deliberately testing the drag when I do that bass fishing video, like I said. It's like a little rainbow? Oh, got off. See it right there. There are springs inside the braking system, and if you stretch those springs out to give it a little bit more resistance for the magnetic braking to work, you'd actually be able to kind of calibrate the braking system. So maybe you're casting more like in the middle of the brake dial versus, like for me, I'm all the way at the end stream fishing. Now maybe if I'm casting Texas rigs or Ned rigs on the lake, maybe I'll turn that up a couple, but either way, I think that most people are going to be at the very low end of the brakes, which for me, I don't get any sort of sense of satisfaction of saying, oh, I can cast this reel 0 brakes, because you should be somewhere near the middle, because you want those brakes to be adaptable to different scenarios, right? So I'll talk about some other features. The clicking, everything on here that clicks is super nice and it's very refined. I'll try to get some ASMR clicks for you guys. And the brake dial, I mean, the brake dial is actually, I like that design. It's Very, very smooth. It's not, it's flush with the side plate, so you're not gonna accidentally hit any sort of settings or anything like that. Carbon fiber handle looks kind of cheap to me, but it does feel like it's carbon fiber just from kind of, so carbon fiber bends a weird way and it kind of feels like that. And the brake dial, I think they could have made that brake dial, I mean the drag click, it does click very, very nice. But I think they could have made that a little bit smaller, or it just feels like it's, everything else is minimalistic and then this is just kind of a big, it is made out of some sort of composite material, which would be lightweight, but I think it's a little bit big for my liking. The side plate, you can see right here, this reel does fit very small. Like when I'm palming this thing, it's, and this is a lower profile reel seat. This is the Fuji, this is the micro trigger series that they have. I mean, that thing just disappears. It's very, and I'm not accidentally hitting this brake dial at all. It's very comfortable. I mean, I was casting underhand, flip casting, overhand cast, and everything felt very, very nice. Thumb bar is also crisp too. I was a little worried that it would be too far down when you press the handle. It actually feels really nice and it's crisp. I haven't had any issues with like it halfway disengaging or anything like that. It's been very crisp and it's been working very smooth for me. All right, so things I like about the KastKing Kestrel is it has a fast gear ratio. It's 8.4 to 1 gear ratio, which is a little bit slower than Shimano's Aldebaran. They both sport a 29mm spool, so the Aldebaran would be faster as far as retrieve. Not nearly enough to really make a difference between one or the other. If I was going to go Aldebaran, just so far stream fishing, Aldebaran versus Kestrel, as far as like MSRP, price to performance, I'd say the Kestrel actually beats it out a little bit. Now, me personally, would I pay the little bit more, especially if you're, say on Digitaka.com, I haven't checked on the Aldebaran prices recently, but I know that they were just crazy low prices on JDM gear just because of that exchange rate. Even like say Verivis line that I'm using right here, buy in America, it's like $14 for the side edition. It's like $6.30 or something like that if you buy it from Digitaka. So it's just crazy. It's crazy difference right now as far as the exchange rate. But as far as being available in the US, I'd say the KastKing Kestrel is a very, very good reel so far. Now, don't take this 100%. If you're watching this and this video's been out for like a couple weeks, I encourage you to watch the bass video just so you can get an all-encompassing opinion. I also do encourage watching other people's videos too, just to show like any sort of biases or anything like that. You can kind of draw your own conclusions. But this reel is actually pretty nice. I would put this above the, just feel-wise so far, especially for stream fishing, above the Corrado BFS. Even though with the stock spool, I have stock bearings in here still. I do want to put some Roro bearings in here just to see how much bearings make a difference. But I do like to test these out stock just because everybody's going to have the stock reel in hand, and you shouldn't have to buy a reel and unexpectedly be like, hey, well now I have to buy bearings or a spool. So I do like to test it out just so everybody has a clear understanding as to how the reel performs. Alright, so if you like this video or just BFS fishing in general, make sure you subscribe and also comment down below what other BFS content you'd want to see. I will be putting a little bit, I guess, teaser videos or pictures on Instagram. So if you want to see some updates on just BFS gear in general, not just on the Kestrel, make sure you follow me on there. And also hit that notification bell if you do want to see the bass fishing video. That way you're notified when it gets uploaded, and you'll be able to make a decision if this reel is going to be for you or not.